Hi, and welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings with me, Lawrence. So if you came here to see the rambling, and I'm seeing in the chat already, it looks like that's what you guys want. Well, probably gonna get it because I actually have a whole list of notes to talk about. Let's be honest, we probably won't get to any of them, to be honest, because hell, you know how things go with me. So anyway, can you guys hear me? If you can't, please, I guess, type up. Can't really speak up now, can you? But I'm guessing that everyone can hear me, or else I'd be hearing something back from someone pretty quickly. So anyway, we got a lot to get to today, but technically we really have nothing to get to because you guys have probably already seen all the different types of news and different things to talk about. So, all right, Matthew is saying that it sounds good. So that's good to hear. Anyway, I got all kinds of stuff going over here. I realized that when I'm live, what I'm looking at isn't exactly what you guys are. So I need to know if I'm skipping around. You guys need to I sound loud and clear. Okay. I need to know if it's jumping around because I really don't want to have two different screens, but I realize that I don't see a lot of stuff on StreamYard as you guys do. So I'm kind of looking back and forth. Isn't that good to know a month and a half into everything that things don't seem to look so good? But as you can see, I did make Matthew a moderator, so he'll be able to kind of jump in and tell me some things if things don't look good. So I'm actually going to get off this stream because I think it's just going to eat up bandwidth. You know what? I forgot to shut my door. I'm sure my son's going to come up pretty soon and be loud. But I guess we'll at least keep the dog from coming in and out. So anyway, let's just get into who's in the chat right now. So Travis was here earlier. I believe he has acting class today, so he dropped in earlier, said hi. Master Verso is in the house. You got Matthew Matson again. The moderator, Jason. We got Albert Vargas. Let's start with the rambling. Hey, you know what? There's no reason to be kidding. How I named the damn show after that. And then we got Articulated Chad. He says he was here for the rambling. He was also expecting Punch and Pie. Well, I got my Aldi Cola. Yeah, I drink the fake Aldi stuff because guess what? It is cheaper than picking up other stuff. You got Mr. Nick in the house here. So we got H Ford. Hey, we got a bunch of guys already, 11 guys. So anyway, hey, let's see here. DJ is in the house and David. So hey, if you guys are here, hit that like button. It helps with the algorithm. It's gonna push everything out. And Will just jumped on here. What you gonna do, brother? Listen, don't even get me into Hulk Hogan because I'll start like posing and doing most muscular flex and don't get me into that. I don't have the muscle anymore to do this shit. So anyway, yeah, so let's get into what we were going to talk about. I guess I'm going to try and stay on track. So later on, we will talk about what I think is our headcanon for the actual canon for the GI Joe. I know there's a lot of people that, and I've talked to a lot of people that really want classified or even the O-rings to be like the cartoon. And man, I look at the cartoon and I'm like, it's not supposed to be the cartoon. But anyway, quickly with the pickups. I only picked up one thing this week, and that was the Mechanic and the Road Ripper. Thing is so loud because it doesn't have rubber wheels. Again, I know. I think it was last week. I was pretty what the hell is it? Adamant about don't pick up any Masterverse or Origins until you see it on clearance. There's really no reason to. But if you see something you really want, you need to pick it up. If you wait too long, then hey, there's a good chance you're going to miss out on it. So I saw this. I actually walked by it a couple times, and I just was like, you know what? it's time. I just need to grab it because I think it's gonna be gone. Well, let's see. Chad is already in. You should go pick up some 118 scale stuff. Well, since I collect GI Joe, we will get into something that might be coming down the pipeline very soon for the O-rings. But I don't know if you guys, I'm assuming everyone probably saw the gridiron video that I dropped earlier today. That video is outperforming anything that I've done in the past 10 videos by far. So thank you to everyone that's watched it. That's actually not my loadout. I do have another one dropping tomorrow. So the roadblock one will be dropping tomorrow. So the roadblock loadout will be dropping tomorrow. Again, not mine. I'm going to say this here. Matthew, I think, actually said something to me about this, but I did not realize that I need that now for my roadblock. When I put that Modus in his hand, I just went, wow, this is wow. It just needs, he needs it. So you said the roadblock one was a disappointment. I thought you said that you needed that one. Maybe it was someone else that I was talking to. It definitely was one of those things where it was like, once you saw it in his hand, I'm like, wow, that is roadblock for sure. And then I filmed it. I haven't cut it up and edited yet, but it should be done by Wednesday. Is Alpine. Now I don't have an Alpine, so I took Rollout from Valiverse, and now he is Alpine. Now, of course, it's not my stuff, so I'll be going back soon and doing it all over again. Okay, so let's see. Palpatine has joined. All right, so that's something else I gotta mention. Hey, Roman is here too. Hey, Roman, want to say hi? Come up here, buddy. Okay. Oh, look, here he is, guys. He's making an early entry because I left the door open. So, my son is actually watching, believe it or not, Breaking Bad. So, and then we have Fancy. I lost all this stuff. Noom is in the house. I was talking to him earlier today. And then we have Chaz the Guru. So thank you guys all for jumping. Is this OnlyFans? That's later on tonight. And that is pay. So anyway, I do want to get into one other thing that I wanted to mention. I didn't realize this. So I mentioned the channel memberships, and I'm actually going to be, I actually just went about adding some channel memberships that haven't added yet. I did not realize that Palpatine 1975 had actually joined. And I mentioned before, it's 99 cents for the first one, not for the first tier. And you get a little icon, and every month you get like a different icon up to a certain point. And then you can get some little, I forget what to call them, emojis that I can add in there that I'm going to be working on adding some. And once I get up to eight members, then on the homepage they will rotate having you up there. So let's say you see someone in the chat and you've just never been able to, check them out or whatever. You'll be able to click on their link and take you to the YouTube page and see if you like it. And then I did a second one, so that's going to be for $2.99. And what that one will do is it's going to give you access to the shout outs. I'll try and do some stuff with the shout outs when it comes to like toy hauls and stuff like that. Maybe send me pictures. I can post them somehow. I'm still struggling with that, but I can figure out something. And the other thing it's going to give you is access to the outtakes for my intros and my intros and my extros, I guess is what you would call it. Because even though you're seeing when I do my videos, I want to have I want you to firsthand experience. When I do the intros, I definitely will redo them a couple times. And sometimes you just catch me swearing at myself or other things like that. And then I just added, and it hasn't even been added yet. It hasn't been approved. And that is the The third tier, which is $4.99, and again, this is, hey, it's all going to help promote the channel. I'd like to get a soundboard eventually so we can do different sound drops, different things like that. But what that will get you, if anyone is interested, is that you'll get early access to the videos. So what you might have seen is with the Firefly video that I did last night, that was up there last night. And it went out this morning. So you'll get that as soon as it's done. But what you don't see right now is that the Roblox video has been up the whole time also. And that will go out at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So imagine when I get the Valorverse figures, they come in like four together. I don't just do all the videos and drop them all at once. YouTube really has this thing about it only pushes out videos, like 3 videos every 24 hours. So I found that a good time for me is dropping them at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'll usually spend the day just doing all my videos. So I did 3 videos yesterday. Like I said, I haven't cut one up. So if you're interested in that, you'll get something like that. We have 25 people live right now. Everyone hit that like button. Push this out. Let everyone know, hey, you know what? This is the place to be on Monday night. Also, does anyone know who is winning the football game? Because I bet like $10 on Tampa. Also, with that third tier, and again, it's not even up there yet. I'm going to be doing a Discord. So anyone that's involved in that, you'll be part of the community, be able to talk, we'll be able to chit chat, go back and forth, and do all that other stuff. Hey, you know what? It's a nice community, but it also will help keep out some of the riffraffs. I'm old enough that I can call people a riffraff, can I? And then I'm thinking also doing like one live stream a month for just people at that tier. I chose not to go with the Patreon because I didn't want to get everyone to jump onto people jumping back and forth as of right now. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now. What I'm working on, I'm going to work on the Discord. And then we'll do like one live stream and we'll vote on a topic. And we'll have a smaller audience. Obviously, we'll start to grow. We'll have a smaller audience and we can, talk a little bit. Maybe stay more on topic, even maybe bring some people in. So, let's see here. I just got a super chat from Jason. What Cobra classified figure would you like them to make that Hasbro hasn't made yet? Wow. So I don't know if this would be considered Cobra. And when I was on a toy kind of mood, when we did our what the hell is it called? Our most anticipated figures, we did our wants, and that is a Billy. I want a Billy with an eye patch, but I don't know if you would consider Billy a bad guy. I mean, is he Cobra? Is he GI Joe? Is he just Arashikage? I don't. You know what? Chad can probably tell me. Matthew can probably tell me. So I really want a Billy, and I think he kind of bounces between whether or not he's even part of one. But I really want an Iron Grenadier. Like to me, the Iron Grenadier is like that next evolution of the Crimson Guard. And I always liked them, and I liked when they took the Crimson Guard and classified, and they gave him the sword. So I think that would be great. So that's a great question, honestly. Like I absolutely like that's the type of stuff. I know Chad wants one. Chad is not a 6-inch guy. He is a 4-inch guy. Look at Doomhugger agrees. Yes, give us a Billy. It is long overdue. And I believe maybe when I wasn't collecting, when my kids were a little bit younger, I think they came out with a Billy for some sort of special occasion or something. But when I looked at it, he looks like, this sounds crazy. He looks like the Governor and Carl from The Walking Dead mixed. And so I can't. I don't know. So anyway, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it again. So anyway, I hope you guys all kind of got the tiers that will be up. I'll even do a video shortly about it. Just I definitely want to see people join. It definitely helps with everything, and YouTube wants you to also. But again, here I am looking. I don't know. Again, I feel like I have to have the stream up so I can see certain things that are going on. Because again, I didn't know that Palpatine had actually joined. So when I watch like Geek Dead Life, they're always saying when people join, and I don't see it. So anyway, we'll move on from there because that's been enough. So anyway, we did pickups, channel memberships, talked about Palpatine again. Big shout out to him. Him and I are talking all the time. I love the guy, and he's not even from this country. This guy finds a way to tune in, and there's a few of you guys. So I appreciate every single one of you, and especially you guys overseas that are tuning in to just hear nonsensical ramble from me. So let's get into the Motu. I know a lot of people have already talked about it. And Scott Nylek has really set people off discussing how the Motu line is ending, which I don't really think so. And earlier today, I saw a video by Tiderian Hanger, and he said, if you look, Scott also dropped a video that goes by the dates and stuff, and he's pretty much said it's an April Fool's joke. Now, why he decided to do that, who the hell knows? But it sounds like he already knows it's an April Fool's joke. Look at this. 1,000 Wolves, he just said it too. So I don't know. Again, and Tiderian Hanger in the video, he said I wasn't the first one to know this because I actually heard it. So not unfortunately, because I think Scott really got on this whole kick, and then you've seen this. I really feel bad for Geek Dead Life. If you haven't watched their the debate between Scott and Michael Frenchie, you need to go back and watch it. Just because I had to watch it, and it was hard to watch. It was so awful. Two people that you could tell one you could tell really hated him. Michael French, you could tell hated Scott, and Scott just looked like he really didn't care. He just wanted to humiliate him as much as possible. Juan Toys and Bricks. Scott did it for YouTube clout. Yeah, but he already has so much of it. That's what doesn't make any sense. Like the guy, there's a lot of his videos that, in my opinion, really brought he brought a lot of knowledge because he was in the industry. So why I don't know why he would do something like that. But I feel bad for Geek Dead Life because now they're kind of being, drug into it. Their face. Now if it was Viper Island, he would have just like cut him completely out. So that would have been good. But Analog Toys did a video, which is pretty funny. It's pretty funny. You might find it enjoyable. But anyway, again, why? I don't know. I don't know why. What he needs to do, who knows? Anyway, but speaking of Masterverse, let's talk about tomorrow. The drop for Frogmonger. I am ready for this. I think this figure is cool. I know there are some Motu fans out here. It's not my biggest property that people are tuning in to hear me talk about, but I gotta say, this figure looks awesome. It's a new figure that we've never had. And this right here, I want to say this here, for Origins, this is exactly what Classified needs to be doing. Giving us other figures that we've never had. Billy. Billy, give us Billy. If you can give us a Frogmonger, if Motu and Mattel can give us a Frogmonger, then GI Joe can give us a Billy, right? Everyone? Like Jason Fritz. Okay, so anyway, listen, I need to get this guy. So if anyone gets an extra one and I don't get one, I will be more than happy to pay I'll be more than happy to pay for you the extra one that you get. But I'm hoping that it's still gonna it'll still be available. Hopefully it'll be available for everyone. Chad, they actually went up. They were 17 not too long ago. So they're going up too, but you're right, under $20. What a concept. And look, still cheaper than a Super 7. Not that that's damn hard, right? But anyway, anyone else? Anyone else other than Jason interested in this? I think he looks super cool. There's gonna be three per customer. That's gonna be the limit. And unfortunately, where I think they screwed up with that is they show him here, as an army builder. So, maybe you should have went higher. Produce more. And I'll tell you what, Mattel Creations, they have sent stuff pretty damn quickly here. So, all right. So, okay, we're gonna get out of this here. Oof, yeah. So I guess we'll get into Super 7 since this popped up. So I didn't want to talk Super 7 really quickly here. Let me know if the video for everyone is dropping out. I just kind of got hit that it's dropping out. Oh, Matt O'Brien, thank you for joining. Hey, if you guys haven't seen Matt before, he is in so many of the damn live streams. I've seen him on the Full Force. I've seen it, I believe, the 3 POA. He is in he's all over. All over. I hit this guy up and I said, hey, you know what? We do a live stream too, because he's always chatting. He's one of the guys that always says hi to us. So anyway. I am not a Power Rangers fan. And a matter of fact, we're gonna go. Let's see, where did I have it at? Toy Habits. I really didn't even mean to hit this. Hey, look, Super 7 here. They canceled another order. I wonder if they give you your money back. They give you your money back if they cancel orders? Probably not. He probably just sits on it and says, oh, what are you supposed to do, right? Isn't that what Brian Flynn always says? What am I supposed to do? Payne's Toy Samples is in the house. I saw you earlier. The stream locked up. I'm not sure. I don't know if I have too much going on. If it continues to lock up, I think I will grab my work laptop next week and go from there and try that. It's a newer laptop. This one's older, but from what I understand, StreamYard is supposed to handle this on the back end. I also think that maybe it's because I'm using the free version. So anyway, let's check this out. And my son just came in and shut the door, so he must have got sick and tired of hearing me. And look, the artist Shark just joined. Hey, brother, just stopping by quickly to say keep up the great work. We'll have to catch up in the rerun. And that Tommy head sculpt. I know. It's awful. It's awful. But thank you for stopping in. Look, I got all the celebrities in the house. I got Chad. I got the artist Shark. I got Chaz. Chad and Chaz. I'm gonna get them confused. And here is Ritz Murphy. I've talked to this guy numerous times. He's an O-Ring fan. Ritz, you need to be watching Articulated Chad. All right, that's all I got to tell you. If you haven't subscribed to him, you need to be subscribed to him and see all the stuff he does. So anyway, let's get to this really quick. And only because I would never have seen this, I hope Chaz is in the house still. Chaz, please tell me you're still here, because you are about to. Chaz knows this guy so well. All right, so oh god, I think it's so ugly. So this is the Tommy. Again, I don't know anything about it. Let's say hi to Skyfall really quick here. Skyfall, I apologize if I haven't seen you before, but I don't remember seeing your name. So thank you for joining in, and let's thank you for joining in. That's all I want to say. And if you've caught it before, I apologize. I'm starting to get a bunch of different names. 28 people. I hope we get 28 likes. All right. So what I have here is, if you guys are on Instagram, you need to be checking out Jersey Maniac. This guy is the angriest guy on Instagram. He's hilarious, but I saw him drop this. And this right here, and why anyone would ever pre-order something from Super 7 before they see it, you know what? That's on you. You have all been warned. So anyway, these were the shots they showed you that you were going to get. The two different Tommy heads, and then they give you these two one. Okay, yeah. So then they give you these two, and my God, like that is so awful. Like it's, and again, Brian Flynn, he don't care. He's gonna be on. He's gonna be on the Full Force with Chris, and I know Chris won't ask him the hard questions because Chris is a really nice guy and he doesn't like to start controversy. But until people start calling out Brian Flynn, and I've told you it hurts me because he's a punk rocker and he's a skateboarder, and right there, that should be things that like we should be brought together. But he just garbage. So anyway, if you haven't followed Jersey Maniac _collector, you need to do it. The angriest man you will ever see. How people give him shit he wants and he seems unhappy about it. So I quickly wanted to go over that. I need to kind of mark off some of the stuff. So we talked about let's see, we did my pickups, spoke about the channel memberships, and accidentally got stuck on Frogmonger. Let's see here. See, this is fun. This is what you guys came for, all right? So let's get this off. I think as I start to remove some stuff, the stream, it should go a little bit smoother. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to keep talking, but I'm going to, yeah. I need to go wipe my nose. I know, you guys needed to hear that. So we're going to hide myself. Wait, where'd it go? See, this is awesome. Like, all right, so I'm still here. I apologize. I had a runny nose that started, and oh, you know. All right. All right, guys, I apologize for that. Good dead air, you know. This is why I'm not doing. You know what? I treat my toys nicely. They wouldn't do that to me. They wouldn't do that to me. They like me. They're all into me. So anyway, so I am going to do another giveaway, and I'm going to do a little different. Again, we have a smaller crowd, and I'm trying to obviously grow everything. So I've decided that I have this Fortnite Snake Eyes. So we're going to do a Fortnite Snake Eyes giveaway, but not tonight. So it's going to be the end. So the last Monday of the month. So 2 weeks from now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the Mech Hiss giveaway, where I'm going to post a video, people post their names, they all get put in it, and then we're going to do the Wheel of Names, just like we did for the Mech Hiss giveaway. But here's going to be the different thing that I'm going to do is I mentioned before how the Toy Anxiety and their live streams, they do the spinning wheel, and they'll say like 4 spin wins. So once they spin, they take that person out. They spin again, they take that person out, right? Well, this is what I've decided. I'm going to let everyone that wants to enter this. Gonna post a video this week. Post your name. Gonna put you in the spreadsheet, whatever. Gonna put you in the wheel of names, and then the last Monday of the month, which is, let's see, what is that? On the 30th, we're gonna do the giveaway. But here's the difference. When I did the giveaway for the Mac Hiss, I said you didn't have to be here. And actually, the guy that won, he wasn't here. So I posted that he won. He contacted me, but you're going to have to be in the live stream. So let's say I have 100 names. If we only have 25 people in the live stream, and I'm going to give a specific time. I say we'll do it probably between 10:30 and 11. And what we're going to do is we're going to spin. And if you're not in, your name gets removed. And we will continue to spin until someone that is in the live stream wins it. So, like I said, I'm trying to figure out something to do, but hey, this stuff's kind of hard. That's not as easy as everyone thinks it is, but it is a lot of fun. I have definitely enjoyed doing this with all of you guys. So anyway, that's going to be a live stream. I want to give away something. If I'm going to go 2 weeks, I want to give away something. That's actually kind of cool. I know a lot of people didn't buy it. Why I bought an extra one? I don't know. It was one of those things where you're just like, hey, I'll buy an extra one for no good reason. So we will move on to the next topic, which is, who knows? All right, so giveaway is gone. All right, so did you guys see? We're going to talk Gargoyles right now. Chad, I don't want you to leave because I'm definitely going to talk about something that I don't know if you've seen yet, but it should interest you. But anyway, so Gargoyles, it is one of the properties that I like, that I obviously do. And so this dropped, I believe, yesterday, maybe the day before, sometime over the weekend. And here we have the Steel Clan robot. I don't know if anyone else is interested in these. I absolutely love the Gargoyles. I don't care that they have giant wings. I don't know why people are so mad that they have giant wings. You can work. I mean, they're already they're about 8-inch figures, to be honest. You just kind of work their wings around, move them up and down, kind of place them in between, behind each other. I don't have any issues, but this here is definitely an army builder. They do have the blast effects for his feet and the jetpack for his back, which I think is pretty cool, except for finding a stand that's going to help hold him like he's flying. It's going to be pretty difficult. But is anyone else in on the Gargoyles? I know there's a few people. I believe Matthew is in on it. But are you in on this one? Because I know that they also have the Xanatos one coming too. They showed him. But I think there was a picture where they showed like Xanatos. I think it's Xanatos, right? Here it is. Yeah, so you see like two of them here. So he has his own one. But yeah, so anyone else? Let's see here. Palpatine says the wings on the Steel Clan robot seem slightly smaller due to the curvature, so it will fit better in the detox shelves. Yes. So I guess, and I don't have detox shelves. So I guess that's one of the things I guess I don't have to worry about. I kind of display my stuff out. As a matter of fact, these things are actually underneath my TV, like on the TV stand, where most people put their toys, right? But I think these are really cool. I think it's $42 BBTS, $38 at Entertainment Earth with free shipping, and if you wait to get it at Target, I think they're around $34 or $35. They're actually cheaper there. So if you're willing to wait, then wait it out, man. Like, save as much money as you can. All right. So we're going to move on to the next one here. Now, Chad, this is for you. And I heard this actually on my way home from work. And maybe you have already heard. You may have already heard this, Chad. Let's see. I haven't. So, oops, not what I wanted. All right, so here we go. Is this what you guys are talking about? I'm not sure if Chad is talking about, but the rumor that there will be a Sergeant Slaughter O-ring with a transforming Triple T. Now, I have a long-standing issue with Sergeant Slaughter, not the person. Well, yeah, I guess the person. He is the man that turned his back on Hulk Hogan and the USA. But that's okay because I saw Articulated Chad, who is a real American hero in real life, and he walks around as a Cobra. Oh, same with his wife, who walks around as the Baroness, and they're both military guys. So it's not shocking that he likes Sergeant Slaughter so much. But this is interesting because not what I was definitely expecting. Okay, so Chad says he did hear this, and it works because with the sound wave, you got to have one Autobot, one Decepticon, one Cobra Joe. But when are we gonna get an Optimus Prime? I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, this can't be Optimus Prime, right? So it's kind of small. So I guess you would assume it's probably going to be around Bumblebee size. So I'm not really sure who you're going to go with. Someone said Ironhide would be probably a nice idea. I wouldn't mind that. I always liked Ironhide. Again, if they do it, it's going to be a Transformer. And after I do the review, he's just going to be in robot mode forever. And eventually there's just going to be too many to fit on the on the USS flag. So then I'll just have to kind of figure out what we're going to do from there. Okay, so yes, Cup was the other one that someone had said, and they actually showed Cup, and I thought it really looked a good idea. Let's see, Chad here. Give me a damn Prime Mobet. I guess I could see that, but the Mobet's still kind of big. They have to make it so it fits into the same size. Optimus Prime as a Havoc, and I'm not a big Havoc fan, although I have like 4 of them. I have like 4 of them. That's stuff you just acquire over time, which is crazy. I think a Havoc, he would be way too big. Now, a Havoc is an Ultra Magnus who was actually taller. That one might work pretty well, to be honest. So I think, Jeremy, I think you're onto something. If you said Ultra Magnus as a Havoc, that might work because he was actually bigger than Optimus Prime. I think a Slugger for Prime would be decent. But a Slugger for Megatron would have been awesome too. Big giant cannon. Okay. The Havoc is rad. So this is what I like about you, Chad, being a real someone really in the military, that you can distinguish the difference between GI Joe and not being real and actual military, because there's so many people that get mad. I've seen people now complaining about Bazooka. Now, I made comments about the straps, but people saying that he's wearing a football jersey. Like, have you ever seen GI Joe? A Havoc is a sniper's dream. Hey, look, there's a gunner just sitting there completely exposed. Oh, and the driver, there's some glass that we got to shoot through. But anyway, again, when are they going to give us Prime? The fact that they gave us a Megatron so early and no Prime doesn't make a lot of sense. So I assume Prime would be the next one coming. But if this Triple T, and again, Hasbro did not sign Sergeant Slaughter to do one classified figure. They want him doing all kinds of stuff, at least in my opinion. Just like Valaverse, they didn't sign Sergeant Slaughter just to do one thing. They have 3 different figures. I mean, they're all the same figure, but 3 different figures for the most part for him. So, yeah, I can't believe it either. And what's even funnier is that It's not like they made him up. They just did the Tiger Force. The regular Bazooka still wore a football jersey anyway. And you know what? I mean, Chad could, you know what? Chad could actually completely debunk this. I watch SEAL Team, which I really enjoy. How many times do I see in that show that these guys are in street clothes, undercover doing stuff? I mean, you're mostly in your military garb, but let's be honest, sometimes you're probably not going to be. Now, are you going to be running around with that? But again, people complain about a football jersey, but no one complains about a big giant tiger. I mean, if you're that much of a badass, you're running around an orange tiger in the jungle. So, yeah. So okay. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Bumblebee is more popular with the kids than Optimus. But my thing is, I can understand you doing Bumblebee, but I just thought that Optimus would be coming down, showing up this year, and maybe he still will. I mean, I don't know why Hasbro's not doing a little bit more with the O-ring. Like I said, I would like to see some new sculpts. I mentioned it before. I love the Cobra Island officer, the Cobra Island trooper, whatever you want to call him. I don't know. But I would love to see that as an O-ring. I think that looks absolutely awesome. So anyway, Chad, that was for you. I heard that, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I can keep Chad in the stream because there's a little bit of O-ring talk, and we know Chad. Listen, this guy, he does all kinds of stuff. And he does some pretty cool stuff that you've probably never seen before. A lot of customs. So, all right. So Sarge's Triple T is taken care of. The gridiron. I kind of covered the gridiron. Like I said, these videos are going to drop real soon. Well, one will drop tomorrow morning. And then the other one, I just got to cut it up. I'll probably do it tomorrow. There's some other things. So I also have these to take to review. I guess I should move this really quick. So we move this from the stream. And that is the Casket of Cruelty. I haven't even opened this up. So it's a casket with all kinds of different weapons. Not so much different weapons. There's 15 blood and gore effects. Diabolical weapons. Boxing gloves, machete, chainsaw, riot shield. What is the Matthew knows because he has it. Nail gun. There's a nail gun. So I mean that's evil. So anyway, so what's up, Nico? Thank you for joining. Great to see you here. Again, 24 people. How many likes we got? How many likes we got, Math? I love seeing this. We had less likes last video. We got more watches. So it's cool. People are watching. I'm having people hit me up. That are, really saying that, hey, I'm watching this now. And it's like, there's like 2 days before the live stream. So it's pretty cool to know that people are going back and watching some of the other stuff. They probably just hit it. I mean, the last live stream went 2.5 hours. It seems like a lot, but I probably could have kept going on, which is pretty cool. And then the other video that I'll be doing is this pack. So my buddy that actually, he lent me these loadout kits. He gave this to me and he said, hey, you know what? Do a review and then give that to your son. Because my son collects Red Hood. And as everyone knows, DC will not allow trigger fingers. Makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. So anyway, let's see. Kirk's Corner says, I'm always watching, usually after it's live. Hey, you know what? I understand not everyone can, and hey, it's cool. Like, we all have lives, and I expect other people to have I expect other people to spend time with their families over me. Hound should be a family. You know what? That's Let's see if they get something right. Like that should be, yeah, like that should just be right there. I agree with that. Articulated chat, thank you. Yeah, hearing stuff like this means everything to me. It really does. When the stuff that you guys send to me, just the fact that I know that all the stuff uh, that I'm doing, it is a lot of work. It really is. That's why I've tried to do the channel memberships and everything like that. It takes a lot of your time. And luckily for me, as of right now, I'm not in a relationship. I go to work. My son is here. He's 16 years old. He's always here. He's 16. he's not that interested in hanging out with me. So I have time to do a lot of this stuff, but it's very time consuming, but very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. And at first doing just the reviews and stuff, that kind of scratched that itch, but watching other people do lives, it really hit me. So that McFarlane weapon pack looks like trash. I've seen other reviews on them, and you said not to get them. Well, again, my buddy had bought it, and he was gonna let me review it, and then he just, hey, give this to your son. The thing about this thing, I'm gonna say just quickly looking at it, the weapons, there's a nice glare to it. The weapons look comic booky. That's the best way I can put it. It looks like how an artist would interpret certain weapons. Like if you're, reading through the GI Joe comic, you're definitely like the McFarlane comic. Go figure, right? The Spawn comic, that's what you're gonna get. They don't look very accurate. And I've seen, and I'm gonna have to do it so I can just put them in Joe's hands so I can show people they do not fit in a 6-inch figure's hands. They don't. You can just look at them and you can see just how big they are. It's actually kind of crazy. So that's that for right now. Let's take a look at the other thing is anyone into the Indiana Jones? Should I even talk about Indiana Jones? I've decided that I'm not going to talk unless there's some news, anything really about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's other channels that are really into them. I don't really care. I've really never talked to anyone here. So if no one is really into Turtles, we're just going to not cover that. What's up, Backwoods? Nice to see you here. Where did I see you? I just saw you on another live stream, I think yesterday. Was it Chad's? I think it was an articulated chat, if I am correct. I love that there's such a small, tight community with some people, where I see some people on like Geek Dead Life, and we see guys on the Full Force, and then I'll even see people on 3POA when I do watch that, which isn't all that much. Usually it's not live. So you see these people bouncing around back and forth. I think it's awesome. I think it's really cool having this nice tight knit community. So anyway, Indiana Jones. Anyone? It doesn't seem like it's a big thing, which is kind of shocking. Although I will point this out. So if you watch the Foosh, right? This got pointed out that these legs are not Tarkin. I know Matthew will probably be able to tell me exactly who it is. Grand Animal Thrawn. That they are pinned. You can't see that they're here, but they are. They're the same ones, which makes sense because they are the Star Wars team, and they're also Lucasfilm. So, also Matthew. Okay, so anyone, has the stream been decent today so far? Because Matthew had thought that it was kind of bouncing in and out, and now he's saying that his stream sucks because he's in Texas. But then I also saw these here, and I know there's a lot of different fans of these NECA Universal Monsters. I've never really been into monsters, but I gotta say, I think these look pretty nice. Again, I love like just seeing pretty plastic. I think the Frush just does it the best, man. It's just when they talk about it, when he talks about the pretty plastic, but this Dracula, this is Dracula, I believe so, because I thought this thing looks really cool. I can't see myself getting it. I was looking for the Elf though. I probably will pick up Elf when I get it because alien life form. And my sister's name is Amy Lynn Frontera, so we always used to call her Elf as a kid. So, but the Elf looks really awesome. I know it should be dropping anytime soon. I keep seeing ET. I don't really care for ET, and I don't want gremlins in my house. So, I don't think they look really good either. But the thing that I had noticed was I'm not an Indiana Jones fan. Matter of fact, I've never seen an Indiana Jones movie all the way through, if you can believe that. This figure right here, the one that has the Grand Admiral Thrawn pants, this guy would make a good customized Dr. Mindbender because he wears something very similar when he has the trench coat on. So I think you could do something like that with this if you're a customizer. Chad, I'm not talking to you because I know you believe that anyone can customize a 6-inch figure. Real talent comes in 4-inch figures. So anyway, that's about the Indiana Jones talk, I guess. Not too much more to really talk about on that. Now, is there? By the time we get to the news here, it's pretty much it's all new. You're watching The Last Crusade right now. Man, you are always watching something. Hey, I was gonna watch your movie that you suggested, but I had to pay for it. I couldn't find it free anywhere. Which is I can't remember what it's called. Tell me what movie it was that you said is the best GI Joe movie ever. I had looked for it, and unfortunately, you have to pay for it. And I just wasn't willing to do that. So I did want to talk about this here. And I have a feeling that Matthew's going to say he's all in, and that is the Mythic Legions that dropped. I have not picked up Megaforce. Yes. Megaforce. Megaforce here. Backwards said Megaforce. Yes. I will eventually buy it. It's only like probably $5 or whatever. I will eventually buy it so I can see it. It does get like a 1-star rating, but hey, you know what? I've watched more than enough 1-star movies, and I love introducing my kids. You want to know something funny? We watched Fletch this weekend. I've never seen Fletch. Never seen Fletch. I kind of knew the concept of it, but I had never seen it. And the crazy thing is my son probably laughed harder than I did. And I found it pretty funny. I know he didn't get a lot of the jokes because of they're so outdated, but there were some things like he didn't get a lot of the references of the names and everything, but seeing Fletch for the first time at 47, which is hard to believe, like that is just never, ever come across that. I was able to see Fletch, and it was just like, I always try and show 80s movies. My daughter, she didn't seem to really care. She was on her phone the whole time. So if I put like a Disney movie on, her and I will watch that. So, and my son will not want to come down and watch it. Hold on. I got to take one quick second here. So anyway, I want to talk about Mythic Legions here. Let's stop the cam. These did drop. I haven't gotten into any Mythic Legions yet. I'm not really sure why. Probably because I'm scared that I'm going to go down a path of money that I don't have. But I think that's kind of what a lot of us do here is go down a path and then cry and go, hey, well, I guess we'll make it here. Well, I'm sure Articulated Chad will make a comment about this because Chad does a live stream with Jay. Chad, say what stream it is that you do on Friday, but they rate stuff. And two of the guys rated Predator as an S movie, which is the top. But Jay, the host, could it not. He gave it an A. And Chad was not happy about that. I don't think anyone was. Although Jay talked about how great of a movie he thought it was. So I didn't understand why he didn't want it to be. Yeah. You know what? Hey, Matthew, I am with you. The first Transformers movie was better than any Joe movie. I agree. The first Transformers movie was by far the best, other than Bumblebee, which they didn't let Michael Bay touch. The first Transformer movie, and one day we should talk about this. I liked it. It had promise to it. The second GI Joe movie, that had promise. Unfortunately, we saw what the first one was, and then we got to see a movie with a guy named Snake Eyes. So I am definitely with you. Look at this. Matthew, agree. Like, that is an S tier. It is a Predator, and Chad broke it down in a way that I have never heard anyone break it down. That it starts at like this 80s action movie, then it becomes a sci-fi movie, and then it becomes a horror movie. And do you guys hear the whistling when I pronounce different sounds? It drives me nuts. I hear it so much now. Ever since I started doing live streams, I hear how much I whistle. I think I mentioned it numerous times now in videos. It drives me nuts. Anyway, I just had to mention that. So anyway, but Mythic Legions here are talking about, things that kind of look like Predators. These things are so cool. I have not picked up any Mythic Legions or anything like this from the Four Horsemen, but all you hear is wonderful stuff. Just looking at this thing here, I just think these things look awesome. So, I don't know. Is anyone else into Mythic Legions? Speak up now or forever hold your peace, I guess. Look at this guy here. I mean, this is just... I don't collect this, but this is something that I would like to order one. And again, you look at stuff like this here and everything that you hear, and it's like, it's $50. That's expensive. But then you go ahead and you look at what NECA is charging for their $55, and it's not half of the quality, of a figure like this. And hey, if you want to spend that much money, you are more than welcome to buy something like this. So I would buy something like this over stuff that Super 7 gets. And I'm never going to say I won't buy another Super 7, but it's not my favorite property to begin with. So anyway, so Matthew is about the only one that said he liked Mythic Legions. Now I'm starting to realize that most of you guys come here for the GI Joe talk. But that's cool. Like, it's cool. I'm going to get you guys into some other stuff. Again, I think we all enjoy a lot of different things. So, all right. So I guess we can get onto the actual topic that we had. And that is, I looked at the views, and I would say pretty much when it comes down to what you believe is real canon for GI Joe, is either the movie or the comic. I think there was one or two people that said the movie, and I'm hoping that was just a joke, or maybe some kid got on. Maybe there was some kid that was like, oh, I really like the movie. I can't fault someone for what they like, but I gotta say this. The movie did Duke dirty by not killing him, because I hated Duke. I hated that he was in charge. I didn't like him as a figure. I also didn't like Beachhead, though I grew to like Beachhead later on in life. But for me, I really should put file cards, but I think I put the file. I think I always assumed the file cards. I looked at the file cards as part of an extension of the comic because Larry Hama was writing both of them. But anyway, I like to hear what you guys say. What do you guys consider mostly your canon? Because to me, it's pretty much anything Larry Hama did. I equate it to anything that George Lucas did. That's Star Wars. So if George Lucas came and said, "Oh yeah, you know what? I really like that." Doomhugger, Duke is my favorite. So you probably like Leonardo as the Turtles too, right? I never liked Duke. I never ever liked Duke, and I was actually disappointed that he didn't die. True story. He didn't die. I was upset. Optimus Prime died. I'm like, what the hell? Why'd you kill Optimus Prime? Hot Rod's not nearly as cool as Optimus Prime. But anyway, like Matthew, I think now we see why we talk so much, why we get along. Will R says, for me, the cartoon was fun because it had personalities to the figures and the voice. The movie, greatest intro ever. After that, all downhill. You know what? I hate Cobra Law. I know they're going to get made and classified, and I'm going to have to buy them. I guess I don't have to, but I'm going to buy them, and I'm going to review them, and I'll probably display them. I might even put them back in the box. Be the first ones. I don't want Cobra Law. I think it's garbage. Even though Nemesis and Forster does kind of look cool, Globulus is awful. Ash says the comic. I got to say, I like anyone that has the name Ash. Like Ash Williams from The Evil Dead. Because guess where Bruce Campbell is from? Michigan. So you gotta support our own, right? We gotta support our own. I know Optimus Prime gave his life so Duke could live. You know what? I don't think I've ever heard it quite worded like that, but definitely. I agree. I remember seeing the Transformers movie in the movie theater. And I think when they said shit, that was like probably this is a cartoon. Like, oh my God, they took our kid cartoon that I didn't get to watch because it was on Sunday. And I always tried acting like I was asleep because my dad made me go to church. I'm a heathen, so I mean, hell, I need to go. And let's see here. David R says, I like the comics. The cartoon was a little campy. Yeah, I'm with you. Like the cartoon, it gave us some stuff. I'll tell you what, the cartoon made me hate people more than it probably should have. I hate Spirit because he beats up on Storm Shadow. Anyone believe that Spirit would last 20 seconds against Storm Shadow? Where the comic has Storm Shadow break into the pit and Quick Kick, who thinks he's a badass karate dude, tries to fight him, and Storm Shadow pretty much laughs in his face. Now, that was what I would have expected from Spirit. The cartoon made me hate Duke. It made me hate Beachhead. I think I've already numerous times stated my case on the Sarge. And again, a lot of that goes back to I didn't like him just coming in, but again, I always like Gung Ho. I wanted Gung Ho to be above Duke, Sergeant Slaughter, and then Sergeant Slaughter, he became, the traitor that he is. And Doomhugger says, yeah, the file cards in the comics is my canon, but I also like the cartoon. Hey, there's no doubt, like the cartoon, it gave you ideas to do different things. So it definitely added to it. There's no doubt. And then and again, the other reason why I didn't like Duke was Duke and Scarlet. Come on. Scarlet was with Snake Eyes, but I understood the concept. Well, I understood the concept later that they're like, you can't really have the main female of the Joes be in love with someone who doesn't talk. And at that time, he really wasn't even as cool because he didn't even have a sword or anything. throughout the comic, he just walked around with his blaster. And you didn't even know that him and Storm Shadow were associated together. But again, hey, that's kind of what we got. But when I go back to the comic, to me, and if anyone saw the GI Joe room, then they know exactly. I'm gonna pull this up really quick, possibly. Oh, it's on eBay. I don't want it on eBay. I just wanted a picture of it. Don't you hate that? I like the pictures. That's all I wanted. See the picture. It doesn't matter. So I grab this. You know what? I'm gonna pipe this. And this is wonderful, huh? I haven't even started rambling yet, guys. We're only an hour in. I haven't even started rambling yet. Let's present another screen. Eventually I'm going to figure out how to do slides as I progress into this live stream. You hear that whistle? That's not outside. That's... Hey, also, Matthew, let me ask you guys, does the sound any better today? Got a little bit of foam around here, so maybe it's stopping some of the echoing. Let's see here. I'm going to share my screen. Share the screen. Let's see here. I'm going to allow this really quick. So this was like my favorite comic cover. So I blew it up. I printed it up. It's on my wall. Unfortunately, this is on eBay. So if I click on it, it brings up eBay. I guess I should click on it over here. Brings it up on eBay. I'm not going to buy this because I have the comic and it's all beat up. Like a comic should be, $4. But I absolutely loved this artwork. It means so much. Like, that is just so cool. Like, you see this artwork here. And the coolest thing about it is you have Storm Shadow in blue, but he's not blue. He's just, it's just, the shadow of him, the cover. So I always thought that was super cool. I absolutely love that. But all the artwork that you ever got, like, this is what I just remember, from my GI Joe, like, growing up. And then here we have, I won't do that again. Here we have the cartoon, and you can probably see where I grabbed the pictures from the for the thumbnail that I did. And I don't know why I made myself look so angry and pointing my finger. I just couldn't figure out what to do. But I never understood everything, like this here. Like, here we have, Wetsuit, who's always in his wetsuit. Do we ever see Sci-Fi's face? And here, I absolutely, I love Leatherneck. I want a Leatherneck. Classified, give me a Leatherneck, just a little bit smaller than Gung Ho, and about the same size as Bazooka. But that's what I want. And you can do it on that body. Oh, no, you can't, because he wears a t-shirt. You can't have a t-shirt. But it seems like most people looked at the canon, and the way they looked at it was, either the comic or the comic book. Now, I know everyone must have had some of their own little things. Now, I don't think I've ever mentioned it on here, but again, I've mentioned, so I never liked Mindbender, and I never liked Sergeant Slaughter, nor did my buddy that I played with. And one day he took off Sergeant Slaughter's arms, put him on Dr. Mindbender, we got rid of the cape, and that became Dr. Mindslaughter. And basically he replaced, did you guys hear my dog? He's making noises while he's sleeping. But yeah, so we made Dr. Mindslaughter, and he had big arms, no cape. He was still like a scientist, and that was the Cobra Trooper. And then He was, man, he was so badass, and it took me forever to find all the pieces to my Dr. Mindbender and to my Sergeant Slaughter, because I had broken Sergeant Slaughter up and just kind of like threw him in my bin of stuff. And then we just got rid of Sergeant Slaughter because no one really cared about Sergeant Slaughter. But Dr. Mindslaughter was awesome. And I would customize the Dr. Mindslaughter, but he's already got like huge arms. So really, like back in the day, like even Gung Ho had like really small arms. And I remember arguing with people because I always thought Gung Ho was really tough. And they're like, oh, well, his figure looks really small just because the comic or the cartoon did it. And it used to drive me absolutely nuts because I saw Gung Ho and Roadblock. They were like the big giant guys. Destro was always supposed to be big and muscular and strong. So, but anyway, you guys have any of your own created action figures, different things that you guys just created and they became part of your lore? Because I know we did all kinds of different things. I absolutely loved it, man. It was so much fun. Like, man, you go back to being a child and that open imagination that you had, and let's see here. How about Baroness Head and Dr. Mindbender Body? I don't know about that. Will has a sick, demented sense of humor. Let's see what Matthew says. My first comics were Spider-Man, but the first I bought on my own after church at the 7-Eleven with GI Joe. Man, you guys remember picking up comics at 7-Eleven at the little round circular rack? No one even, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone. I never even thought about what a bag and board were to keep it preserved. It was just like you read it and you keep on reading it. And the best part about it was the 7-Eleven that had it also had the WWF wrestling game. So we go up there and you play Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man, usually versus Andre the Giant and the $1 Million Man. Was it Macho Man? No, maybe it was the Ultimate Warrior. I think you guys know what game I'm talking about. I absolutely love that game. And we just sit up there for hours. And then we go over to the pizza place and they had a couple different video games. But can you imagine kids hanging out at 7-Eleven now playing one arcade game? Yes, the Ultimate Warrior. Remember the guy died like a day or two after being inducted into the Hall of Fame? He got inducted in the Hall of Fame on Saturday. He showed up on Raw on Monday and then died like I think that night, something like that. Macho Man is the cream of the crop. Macho Man got better and better. Now, I'll tell you, I, being in Michigan, was at WrestleMania 3 with 93,193 people. And 173 people. Again, I was there. That's kind of like my it's kind of like my USS flag, my childhood USS flag story. You'll hear me repeat it numerous times. Man, okay. Is this where we're going? Is this where we're going, guys? Dead professional wrestlers. Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. I don't care what anyone says. And never, I don't care how long professional wrestling is. I don't care if it's after Vince McMahon sells it to the Saudis and everyone quits or whatever. He had the best vignettes. When he throws the football and I don't remember what Viking player it was, said, oh, that's amazing. He's like, He throws the football and says, watch this. And then he starts running, and it's all slow motion, and then he catches the football. Right? So he threw the football to himself, but like 70 yards down the field, and then he catches it, and the guy's like, oh, that's amazing. He's like, no, that's perfect. Those vignettes were the absolute best. And if you haven't ever listened to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, if you're an old wrestling fan, you gotta listen to it. Now, the newer ones that he's doing, I don't listen to that much. The older ones, when he first started and he wasn't in the WWF again, he tells he was there for all this stuff. He tells all these stories, and he talks about Mr. Perfect and how good he really was. He goes, the guy was really that good. Like, he did amazing things, but he bowled with like a 300 game. He hit all the hole-in-ones, I believe. The baseball, if I remember correctly, like he couldn't not hit a home run. Dude, don't lie. How many of us threw the towel and slapped our gum away? Dude, how many of us still do the exact same thing? You're walking with that stupid kitchen towel, and how many times do you throw it over your shoulder, and then you realize, like, you go to grab it, and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm old. I just pulled something out. No, like, honestly, like, oh, I love it. Like, that was just, dude, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. I didn't even know his name was Kurt Hennig. You know, like, I grew up, I was a WWF guy. I knew what WCW was or NWA, whoever it was. I knew it was on TBS. I didn't have cable like the whole time I was a kid. Like, my dad would get it and get rid of it, and kind of went back and forth. But yeah, so it was just kind of like one of those things. Like, that's what I knew. Quickly, let's see. I got a super chat here from Palpatine. Thank you. Hope that Hasbro will re-release Beachhead in more classic O-ring colors. Like, that's what I want to see. Like, I would love to see Beachhead done. Like, again, I'm not a Sunbow fan at all. I think I love the cartoon. I love the cartoon because it just brings back to that childhood. But I would love to see them do something different where they do some colors from the Sunbow just to give us something different. I don't need, let's say, like Alpine completely redone with a face that doesn't look nearly as good. Most of those faces, especially Duke is awful. They cannot make a good Duke. Duke and Princess Leia, like, talk about two figures. Now, Princess Leia, at least, like, she's a real person, so you have something to match it to. But Duke is like, every time they do an O-ring one, you're like, why you want to make him screaming? Saturday night's main event. Okay. Let me tell you, Saturday night's main event. Another two dead wrestlers. Actually, 3 dead wrestlers in this one. My buddy and I, well, this is before we knew wrestling wasn't real. We could not watch the British Bulldogs going up against the Hart Foundation because we were scared the Bulldogs were going to lose. I still think to this day the British Bulldogs are the greatest tag team champions of all time. And unfortunately, I don't think they got to go long enough because, you know, Tom, who, man, you hear stories about the Dynamite Kid, you want to talk about an asshole. That guy was a major asshole. But Saturday night main event, like, seriously, that stuff was so awesome. It was before Raw, you know. It's like, it was the night that your parents were going to let you stay up and watch it, at least your dad. And then after Saturday night, if I remember correctly, every time after Saturday night's main event, Glow came on. And did you guys watch Glow when it was on Netflix? Again, Netflix canning another show that they shouldn't have. That was awesome. The Glow TV show was awesome. But yeah, we can talk. Like, I said, like, I want to do, this is how morbid I am. And I see it. Like, I saw the Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man, and they're just like looking at me, and I'm like, I need to start my dead wrestler collection. because God knows there are a lot. Yeah. So this is gonna be kind of bouncing back and forth. Let's see here. Matthew, the movie The Wrestler was impactful. In my opinion, I was a cross between Jake the Snake, and I hate Jake the Snake. I can't stand Jake the Snake. He was always the guy talks about doing steroids, and I'm like, you know what? You take steroids, you need to lift weights too. I mean, you don't take steroids and get big. You also have to put the work in it. Yeah, so let's see here. We'll bounce back and forth. Listen, I can talk about 2 things, 3 things, 4 things. Listen, when you're a professional rambler like me, the full force seems to be Hasbro priority. Oh, Tiger Force. I'm sorry. Tiger Force seems to be Hasbro priority for some reason for classic version. Okay, so this is the reason why they're doing it. I don't think a lot of people really think about this. The reason why I've heard a lot of people say, I just want the original 13. Well, you know what? If you give you the original 13, how many people are going to bow out of it? A lot of people are going to get the original 13 and be done. Tiger Force Bazooka came out. Tiger Force Wakando. Again, I want the original, but you know that they're going to do it. But this is their way of giving you that. So then, in the next year, they can say, okay, here's a classic version. And I think that's the reason why they're doing it. We know they're going to repaint. They want to give something to look at all the hair again. It's coming back. It's like, oh. See, when I shave my head with the Bic razor, it looks like I have a 5 o'clock shadow. And when I don't shave it, it looks like I'm balding. I hate it. I wish I'd just go bald like Steve Austin, who is not dead, so I could not add him into my collection. Look at this. We start talking wrestling, and we start losing people. So what do we need to do to keep the viewers? How many likes do we got? How many? Everyone hit the like button, subscribe button. Okay, so Matthew had asked me, does Palpatine look different? And yes. So when I'm looking at his name, shows up green, and I can see that he joined to be a channel member. Where again, Matthew, I made you a moderator, and I unfortunately do not see. It doesn't tell me. So unless I go look at the live stream, which I really think kind of halts everything, it's kind of weird. So anyway, let's see. Jeremy here. You know what? I don't like Rock and Roll version 2. I don't really care for Rock and Roll. I do think the new version looks really nice. We discussed that on a Toy Kind of Mood when I was on there. I like the idea that they've adapted them. They make them look more modern. And then they can now go back and just do a regular one. But I never liked, I don't know. I think Roadblock came out and I was just like, he's just so much cooler. He's just so much cooler. You know what? So these are 2. I had short fuse. I think I mentioned before, Tripwire was one of the figures, and I was pretty spoiled. Again, I got the aircraft carrier with 6. I'm sorry. I got the USS flag for Christmas, along with 8 shipwrecks to be the sailors. So, as some people have kind of made jokes, oh, I feel so bad for you because I hate shipwreck. I never liked Tripwire, so much so that I never even asked for him, and I didn't get him till I was an adult. So backwards. I looked earlier. So what you guys don't know is that I'm looking at StreamYard. That's what I'm using. So if I wanted to stream directly through YouTube, unfortunately I can't share a screen, so I can't show you I can't show you any websites or anything that I'm looking at. So you have to use StreamYard, which is supposed to take everything out of it. But I did not realize, because Palpatine had joined to be a channel member back in December. I didn't even know. So I know I watched like Geek Dead Life, and every time they have a channel member join, they mention it. So I don't know if they're watching the stream on a separate monitor, but I don't know where to see that because I am watching their StreamYard, and maybe it's because I have the free version. You can see the Quack and Duck up here. Once I eventually upgrade, I'll be able to do a couple other things, like I'll be able to simulcast on the Facebook page. That's what I'm aiming to do. So, but for some odd reason, to get to your point, for some odd reason, on this side, I do not see where that Matthew is the moderator. No, I know I made him the moderator, so I know he is. But there should be a wrench by his name, along with it being blue. Oh, and so look who just. And here we have Cobra La. Can't with OBS. StreamYard probably better. Yeah. So Cobra La joined. Are you just joining? Did you miss when I was putting down Cobra La 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 la? If not, I didn't mean to offend you, because I don't want Globalus haunting me in my dreams and my nightmares. Okay, Ford. So you stripped the paint off Dusty's face and slapped on a Cobra trooper body with the Cobra officer web gear. Boom, Dusty from the Trader. See, I have to say, I think Dusty has a really nice face. I know a lot of people say it looks like Duke. But I think the face paint, the face camouflage takes away from it. I really, really, I wish they didn't do that. So Cobra La just joined. Thank you. And listen, I love when you guys jump in. I love getting you guys. Make sure you like it. Make this thing go out. You know, let's let everyone know that, hey, you know what? There are other people in the toy community. And look, I didn't even get into any drama today. You know, we had Shark on. I'm pleased to have Shark jumped in for a short bit. That's what I like to see. I know there is another YouTuber that kind of went after him. He had another State of the Union address. I don't know how many there's only one State of the Union address. Okay, so what have I told you? I don't like either one of them. Bazooka, specifically because of the comic, made him seem like a blundering fool. Because of the cartoon, he seemed like a blundering fool. So I never liked him. And Zap was just, I don't know. I mean, I had Zap with no broken thumbs. I actually broke one not too long ago. Broke the whole back of it. Crazy. Drama. Like, oh my God. Let's see here. I never liked Cobra La either. That's the point. You're not supposed to like Cobra La. Okay. Anyway, I'm glad to have you here because you know what? I love it. You have to say Cobra with a death metal voice. Is that how he said it? Cobra La. I don't have a deep voice, man. Like I can't do death metal. Like listen, dude. I can't do Napalm Death. All right, I cannot do Napalm Death or anything like that. I don't know how those guys do. I'm a hardcore guy. All right, those guys. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how Sick of It All does it like he does it. Yeah. So anyway, so DJ's in the house. I don't think I saw you earlier today, but I'm glad to have you now. Nope, that's how I say it. Let's see here. Bazooka greater than Zap, greater than Back Blast, greater than Salvo. I would probably agree with you for the most part. I probably did like Bazooka a little bit better than Zap because Zap was very plain. And also, if you had the wrong Bazooka, you were just going to snap his thumb. Although I didn't realize this. The Bazooka that I had never really broke. I never had a broken thumb. I had lots of broken thumbs. That was pretty good. Here, Ash says Cobra La killed the cartoon. I think what we've learned is that Optimus Prime killed the cartoon by saving Duke, by not letting Serpentor and Cobra kill Duke. Let's talk Dreadnoughts and how we need a classified Thunder Machine. Again, I have... So, let me see. I have my reservations about classified vehicles. They take up so much space. I think that I want to say, listen, I love Tom Selleck. Again, from Detroit, representing a Magnum PI wearing the Detroit Tiger hat. And yes, I watch Blue Bloods every week. So anyway, back to what I was saying about Thunder Machine. I have my issues with 6-inch vehicles. They take up a lot of space. If you've seen the video, you've seen 2 printed 3D mech hisses, 2 3D printed hiss tanks, and then I have 5 different styles of bikes. With that said, I really do like a Thunder Machine. And I don't think that we'd get that as a classified. I don't think we would get that in the classified HasLab just yet. Probably have to wait another year. That's because I think they have to do a GI Joe one. But I like the Thunder Machine because it can hold so many figures. You have 2 that you can sit inside, and then you get 2 on each side. So it can hold like six figures, and it's kind of long and thinner. So I think you could fit it inside your displays, cabinets, different things like that, a little bit easier than even the hiss, because the hiss is going to take up so much space. Let's see here. New York Night 1974, classified Chuckles with Tom Selleck's face. Well, I've never been a Chuckles fan. As a matter of fact, I've never even owned a Chuckles. But I think of Chuckles, he's got blonde hair. I guess I don't know. I don't see Tom Selleck as a Chuckles guy. But that's just me. I think Tom Selleck obviously matches. I don't have all the figures. I've actually put them all back. So anyway, you had enough Cobra vehicles? Well, we've only had 2 vehicles, right? There's only been 2 Cobra vehicles, and one's not even out yet. And then we've had technically 2 different what you need to read in the last laugh. Chuckles is a badass. I just never got into them. Just never got into them. No. You know what? I expected midnight on the 12th to get a shipping notification for all those stupid emails that they just kept sending us. New York wants lots of classified. Can I tell you something? So I talked about this classified whale. It would be huge. It would be expensive. But I think that it could work for one reason. It is a troop carrier, and you could use that as its own display, where you have Cutter and another figure that can fit, in the back there, in the control. You get 2 gunners. You got the whole inside of it. Yeah. Let's see here, Lady Night Viper. I want a Night Viper. First, I want to say hi. I believe this is the first time I've seen Lady Night Viper in the house, and if it is, thank you. If you've been here before, I apologize for not noticing you, but I don't believe that I have seen you. So, Night Viper is one of those ones that I actually have 2 of them from my childhood when I was not collecting, and I think that Cyclops, not binoculars because they're not two of them, but that light or whatever, he really stood out to me. So I picked up two of them, even as like a young teenager or middle teenager. I don't know what you want to call it. Probably about 15, 16. Yeah, but I would pick up a couple of those. So yeah, I still have them. They're actually, someone actually mentioned about missing them in the GI Joe room, and they're actually manning the turrets on top of the Terradrome, my childhood Terradrome. You find I say that a lot too. Okay, so I this is too boring. I think an APC in Classified is just too boring. As cool as the APC was, because it was one of the few vehicles that actually floated, it wouldn't sink. Hell, I don't think you could sink that thing in the ocean. Just along with like, just like the whale, like that thing was not gonna sink. I think that one would be maybe a little bit too boring for me. I was you could say that I was spoiled. Listen, I didn't have the Ram cycle. That's about it. Oh, I never had the jetpack either. I never had the jetpack. I never had the Ram cycle. And then after that, I pretty much had everything up until like into Series 5. I had almost everything that you can imagine. Obviously, I had the aircraft carrier, Terradrome, GI Joe base, the tactical battle platform. Matter of fact, all four of those, I still have my original ones. And even though I've replaced two of them with newer ones that are complete, yeah. The Moray, you know what? Well, I have people that try and tell me that the Moray floated, and that thing went down faster than the effing Titanic. All right, that thing just went down. All right, you put skiffs on it or whatever that thing was to make it be a hydrofoil, and yet you like didn't cover the inside, so it just took on more water than the Titanic. So yeah, I don't care what anyone says. And then the water moccasin, the moment it dipped just a little bit, that the water went into it, that thing went down. The shark, not Shark News. I don't know if he goes down. The shark just floated like this the whole time. It was always facing down. Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story. Story time with Punk. So the water moccasin. So we had the condos that I lived in, they backed up to the middle school. So my walk to school in middle school was closer than most people's walk to the bus stop. But there was all these baseball diamonds because it backed up to the field. And so when it would rain, where the baseball diamond was behind it, there'd always be this mud. And we would take stuff there and we'd go play. And my best friend and I, the one that helped me make Dr. Mindslaughter, he did it first. I was one that followed along. We had this idea that we knew they were coming to play softball, that we completely covered one of the benches with about an inch of mud, knowing that they wouldn't be able to sit down because, hey, you know what? That's what kids do. And so they came there and we could tell they were super mad. And then they picked something up out of the mud. My buddy goes, "That's your water moccasin." And I was like, oh my God. So I had to walk over there and I'm like, oh my God, you found my toy. And I just remember the coach looking at me and going, "Did you do this?" And I went, "No, we didn't do that. We were just playing." And then they left to go get something to clean it up. And my buddy and I ran over there and tried to clean it up as much as we could. But we thought we were like so funny, like covering that and then find out you left your water moccasin. let's see here. Let's see. Punkwood Toys. Where did you place? Where did you place all the Joe's vehicles, playsets, and the flag? So, I'm assuming you meant when I was a kid. So my dad took. Actually, I still do the same thing. My dad took an old door that we had, put the flag on top of it, and put it downstairs. So our basement, there was really nothing. It was just open. I could do whatever I want down there. So the flag was pretty much just the centerpiece of the basement. It wasn't a done basement. I could just go down there and play. So I would say the majority of my stuff was upstairs. I would make these very elaborate bases using like string to make them look like laser wire, so no one could get in above the headquarters. But the flag pretty much sat downstairs. I would normally leave. I would normally leave the tactical battle platform with it, and the easiest thing to move around was a Terradrome, because it was just one big solid piece. So I would just kind of move that around in the living room if that's where I want to play with it, or upstairs in my room, or downstairs. So I even took it over some friend's house because it was just so easy. But yeah, the flag is just so damn big. The flag was bigger than my apartment in Brooklyn. I'm not surprised by that. Again, I don't think. Yeah, see, so Doomhugger had one. Again, not a lot of people had them. I know everyone said they have them, and I mean, where you built it, where your parents built it, that's basically where it stayed. So when I hear people say that they want a classified flag, I don't think they realize exactly how big a classified flag would be. A matter of fact, when they talk about doing a classified Sky Striker, I don't think a lot of people realize it would be close to the size of the flag, because the Sky Striker is not in scale to 1/18th. It's much smaller. So you've probably seen on YouTube, or you can look it up, when someone actually scales an F-14 to 1/18th scale, and it's not even close, man. It's not even close. I mean, that thing would be big. Let's see, Palpatine. I never saw the flag in stores back in 85, 86, but see the Terradrome, and that was like $100 back then. Yeah, I guess I wasn't looking. But I see back now, I think the flag went for 99 or 120. The Defiant was the same price. And I didn't have the Defiant. I was actually out of GI Joe before that happened. I remember it. I was kind of like on my way out. I would say I was probably spending the majority of my money on skateboarding, or asking for skateboards, because that's what I did. I went directly from being obsessed with GI Joe to being obsessed with skateboarding. Oh, Matthew, what do you not have? I'm sorry. Have you seen the remote control F-14? Yeah, that's actually the one that I'm talking about. I mean, I've seen other model kits, but yeah, I'm talking really about the one that it's the remote control, and it's so big. I mean, it's like twice the size of a Sky Striker, which I'm still waiting. Maybe, I don't know. Check my email now. Maybe I got the shipping notice that it's going to be going out soon. Let's see. GI dads would built the flag is incredible. Okay, I'm not sure. I think I missed something there. Let's see. So H Ford says, let's see, I still have my Terradrome. However, it has seen better days. Cobra went bankrupt, needed more Cobra currency. Yeah, I have my original one too. Some of the doors don't really stay up. Those tabs start breaking. It sucks. I have all the doors, but the tab has started to break, so you kind of have to prop it up. All the insides are fine, but everyone talks about that, about the blue that goes around it. Like those things would just snap. A lot of people on Geek Dead Life, when they always talk about the monorail for Eternia, there were people that were saying like those pieces for the Terradrome are actually more brittle than the monorail. And I've never seen the monorail. I just have heard the horror stories, but I also know my tabs haven't broken on my Terradrome, but I've also never tried to take them off. Never tried to take them off. I place it really nicely, and I try not to try not to do too much to hit it. But people were saying like they just kind of like bump into it, and the thing just shatters. You want to go outside, buddy? Hold on. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I will be right back. All right. Hey, you know what, dogs? They need their love, and he was in my room. He's been quiet pretty much the whole time. It's kind of odd. Normally he's in out, in out, in out. But anyway, let's see here. What's going on in the comments here? Let's see. Cobra got sued by the corrections officers. Let's see. I know one cares, but I'll be back in 15. Backwoods, I care. I care. Yeah, so I don't know. There's so much. So hey, someone tell me what's going on in the football game. Because like I said, I bet like $10 that put a little bit of wager. Just hopefully I can make my money. I bet $10 that who was it? Yeah. LA was gonna win. And then they crapped the bed when they were up by 27 points. That was great. Dallas is, come on, I hate Dallas. Why'd you put a question mark on it? Really? Come on, Dallas is awful. I hate Dallas. I hate everything about Dallas, including Jerry Jones, who really, let's be honest, is Jerry Jones. I mean, he is Weekend at Bernie's by now, right? I mean, that guy is dead. He's not really alive. They're just kind of like dragging him around. They gotta be, because he's just awful. Yeah, Matthew, I don't take you as a big sports fan, or at least I'm not a big football fan. A few comments, even though you knew who the Horned Frogs, who lost by like 70 points. Jerry Jones is a bastard. No, actually, he's not even close to being better than Tom Brady, because Tom Brady has actually won where Jerry Jones lived off someone else winning, but then took it away from him because he didn't like him getting all the credit. And then he won one since then, and he still tries to rip on Jimmy Johns. Not Jimmy Johns. What's his name? Jimmy. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. Not a lot of sports fans in here, are there? So anyway, Matthew, how many likes do we have? We're approaching 2 hours. I haven't rambled on that much. It seems like you just kind of got to get on those certain points. Let's see here. Grant G just hopping on here. Best toy of last year. Well, I did my review. I did my top 10 figures all together. For me, my best toy that I got was Storm Shadow. And to me, that he was just, I don't know. He was everything that I wanted in a figure. I wouldn't be surprised if 37 likes. That's pretty cool. That's awesome, guys. Thank you to every single one of you guys. You guys have definitely, seriously, you guys are making Monday nights really fun. Today's kind of, I don't know, I haven't had that much rambling. I think I stayed more on topic. I don't know. Is that really good? So, Will R, you say Serpentor was your number one figure. I can't argue with that. I am not even a Serpentor fan, but he looks so awesome. The Air Chariot was so awesome. I loved everything about it. And that was what he was number 5. Camel Khan, he came in. I believe I put him at 8, 9 or 8 on my 9 or 8 on my list. I love Camel. Cobra Khan was my favorite Master of the Universe figure. And I kept him forever. I don't know why I got rid of him. I'm thinking maybe he was starting to get some of that mold and stuff that built up in the squirting head. Let's see here. Oh, so Doomhugger, more rambling, please. Hold on. I gotta let the dog in. He wants to ramble right now. Hold on. Let me stop it because I'll be right here. Come on, buddy. You know, if only there was another kid that you could go see. So Roman is making another appearance. Oh, I mean, this dog, he does some, like, he bumped this. Here he bumps it and he like freaks out. Yeah, so let's see here. I mean, what do you guys want to talk about? Like I said, we get on different topics. I am all for talking about pretty much anything here. Tiger Force Outback was my favorite classified this year. Best classified face sculpt yet. And I think that the Tiger Force one looks even better than the sculpts or the pictures that they've shown of the regular Outback. So we'll see if he fits. I have a feeling we're going to have a pretty big year. Hasbro seems to have a lot of their production going pretty well. So he's not that big. He's like 70 or 80 pounds. He's just a pit bull. I'm small. So listen, I'm small. All right. I'm small, so he looks really, really big. Okay. Shh. We don't want other people to get it. All right. I don't want other people on the stream. I'm not going to say I'm going to get it. I'm going to say I'm going to be there. I even have my alarm set. I really like, I talked about him earlier in the stream. Talked about him earlier in the stream. Yes. I want Frogmonger. I think he looks super cool. I know he's just like a weird looking figure and everything. But yeah, I think he looks awesome. And I said, that's what, to me, that is what Classified needs to start doing. Creating new classified figures that we've never had. Billy. Talked about Billy earlier. I want a Billy. Radical Toys. Hey, Eldor and Yang. So I believe, Radical, I don't remember seeing you either. So glad to have you. Hit that like button. Let's get as many likes as we can. I didn't mention earlier. I'll say it again. So I'm going to be doing a Fortnite Snake Eyes giveaway at the end of the month. So so 2 Mondays from now. So let me rehash how I'm going to do this. So what I am going to do is I'm going to do a video this week for this thing. I do the video. You want to be entered in the raffle. Put your name down. And then I'm going to put it in the big giant wheel. And we're going to spin it 2 weeks from now. So what happens is you have to be in the stream to win. But your name can still be in there. So what's going to happen is I'm going to spin the wheel. It's probably going to happen between 10:30 and 11 o'clock. All the names are going to be in there. We spin. If you're not there, your name gets taken out, and we go to the next person. I like the idea of taking names out. It's really fun, but that's something that another channel does. So I was thinking about this, and I'm like, I think this would work. I think it will be fun. It also will help maybe get more people into the stream. You know, I like having all these new people. What I'm not looking for is people that aren't interested in toys. I don't want to just bump up my numbers. That is a Viper Island thing to do. All right, I'm trying to not Viper Island this place. Let's see. Radical says, I subbed to you a while ago. Good to meet you. It's nice to meet you. Hey, listen, I love having new people. And speaking of new people, who is this Blind Prime? Well, I heard a rumor that the mole rats are a unique classified figure. I hope so. That would be awesome. Because we need something like that. Like, we don't have to have, I don't have to have the exact retro figure. Of course, tomorrow the Gridiron video is going to drop with this mod dues where I'm like, oh, that one's perfect. But again, here's Firefly, which I enjoyed because he was different. Now, I understand I talked to a guy and he said, hey, you know, the big armored vest, he's supposed to be a saboteur. He would have something like this. I get it, but I want them to take some gambles. I want them to not, I do want the original, but give us something different here. Juan Toys is in the house. I throw away the tactical AK-47 of my classified Sergeant Slaughter. Give him an M249 saw from Balaver's Weapons Bravo pack. Yeah, my Sergeant Slaughter is sitting on a table being experimented on by Dr. Mindbender as they clone him into the Valaverse one, and the clone is smaller than the. But you can go look at the video. You can look at the video. But yeah, hold on. I saw someone make. Where'd he go? You gotta read through all these here. So I saw the mole rats here. Let's see. Okay, New York. So yeah, Wino classified October Guard. I think that would be awesome. I have a feeling we won't see it because of all the stuff that's going on with Russia right now, that they'd be scared to even attempt that. But I've always thought the October Guard were pretty cool. It's just something different. Hell, maybe that's something Bobby Valley can do. Just to do something different to give us, you know. Hey, Space Fold is in the house. Nice to see you. Make sure you hit that like button. I hate saying it over and over, but hey, you got to. Rip Cool Breeze. Am I missing something? Cool Breeze died. Okay, so sometimes you check in here, and you're like, well, I'm really lost. Yeah, see, this is, yeah. So Matthew says same thing that I said. October Guard, Ukraine and Russia. Sorry, not happening. The name is just so like, boom. Hey, did you get Tiger Force Outback yet? Yes, I did a whole review on it. How I've had Outback for a month and a half, 2 months. Yeah, awesome figure. Yeah, it came in at, yeah. Yeah, he was like my second favorite figure, I believe, that I got this year. You should be able to find it. If you're in the States, you should be able to walk into Target and find it because he's like, I don't want to call them peg warmers. I mean, I hate the term peg warmers because back in the day when we were kids, the figures were supposed to be on, the toys were supposed to be up there. They're supposed to be up there for you to grab, to buy. When they've sat there for so long, like the movie figures, that Target and Walmart just will not discount for some reason. Like, why will you not just discount these, clearance them out? I mean, Motu hits it, and they're almost clearancing them as they're putting them out, but they just won't do it for the GI Joe movie figures, which have been out for like 2 years. But you should be able to find Tiger Force Outback, and he's top notch, top notch. Let's see here. So Radical Toy says, I saw your Cobra Viper pack video. They mixed and matched the skin tone parts, didn't they? So I wish he was here. Toys equals midlife crisis. I believe because he changed his name. It used to be Falcon. He sent me a message and everything. He made some comments. I'm like, I didn't know what he was talking about. And I went to his video, and if I'm correct, so all the Amazon ones, the arms were fine. But anyone that came from BBTS, I think Hasbro Pulse, Entertainment Earth, they had the mixed arms for some reason. So that video obviously got me a lot of views. There's actually some guy that made a comment like, well, we're here complaining about toys, and I was like, I didn't even respond, but it's like, I'm not even complaining. It's just like, this is so lazy. This is just Hasbro being absolutely lazy, and I usually keep the gauntlets on them anyway. But yeah, so I got one. So the first video that I did, they weren't mixed and matched because it was a buddy of he dropped them off for me to do. And then I got my own, and Noom, who was actually in the chat earlier today, I think he was in the chat today, but I don't know if that's his name on YouTube. He hit me, or he posted a video. I sent him a message. I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? He's like, go check your Viper's arms. And sure enough, they had black arms, white neck. But the pack that I still had for my buddies weren't like that. And so toys equals midlife crisis. He had figured out, and he called Hasbro or someone. There's a specific serial number, probably came out of a different factory, that they somehow messed up. I don't know. So let's see here. I'm assuming you weren't happy with this gun. I'm assuming you're talking about the Tiger Force Outback. It looks a lot like his gun from childhood, and I love that it came with a strap. I love straps. I love all the O-ring figures that had straps. This here, okay, so this is the Gridiron loadout. Now again, I filmed this. I have not done the video. I should have it up for Wednesday morning. It came with a rubber band, and I'm like, what an idea. All right, this is a cheap rubber band. All right, and it goes on the back of the submachine gun, and then you just put it around it, and it's absolutely awesome. Awesome idea. Oh, drop the magazines. Those magazines do not stay in there. I think you'll see it in the video. I do want to say, hey, did everyone check out the Gridiron video today? That video did wonderful for me. It blew up. It was actually the last 10 videos that I've done. It's gotten the most. It's gotten the most views. So thank you. If I knew Gridiron was going to do so much, I would have got my buddy to start buying them earlier. Arthur English, this guy here. Yeah, you're late, but you're here. Arthur, tell him what you got. Arthur has the Optimus Prime that transforms. And if I am correct, I believe I saw that he got the trailer in today. So just crazy. Actually, it's just another Tiger Force Outback. Left ankle just dangles. See, I haven't had any issues with mine. See, it's really weird because again, the one thing about my reviews, and I'm gonna do this no matter what. I don't care if someone sends me something. I'm gonna be completely honest, and I haven't had that many quality. I haven't had too many QC issues with the classified figures. I see them. I didn't have Zoranor's arm fall off. Obviously, I had the Viper. That to me is a huge issue because that's just laziness, man. That's just absolute laziness that you can't make sure that it all has the same, the same arms. Okay, we're not talking about a mixed character, and we're not talking about a mixed racial character. We're talking about black arms and a white neck. I have mixed friends. That's not how they look. Anyway, let's see here. Speaking of classified, where the hell are they classified Richard Refrigerator Perry and Captain Gridiron? Answer that, Hasbro. All right. I have heard from the interwebs that the Refrigerator Perry or his estate or whatever, I know he's still alive, but I think he's in bad shape, will not give his likeness away. Now, why? I don't know. Maybe it's just a rumor. Who knows? To me, it seems like what's the guy done since he's won the Super Bowl? I mean, really, he got all the prestige, but really he wasn't the real running back. It was Walter Payton. And I wasn't even a football fan back then. I didn't even have a fridge figure until about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, when a buddy gave me his childhood one and was like, "Hey, take it, man, it's yours." Let's see here. So Juan says, my mentor never managed to take the Sarge's DNA for Serpentor. No, but my Mindbender has the DNA from Sarge to create a Valaverse Sarge. And you know what? You know who took his DNA? Hulk Hogan, when he kicked his ass and took his title back. Anyway. So here's Arthur English. Yes, I have both HasLab, Robeson's Optimus Prime, and trailer for me and my little brother as a gift. It only could happen by the will of God. Man, it takes more than the will of God. But that is awesome. That is seriously, like, it's not my thing. It's not my thing because I'm not a Transformer guy. But having Optimus Prime's his voice, the sound, it's amazing that they can make that robot transform. But when I bought my kid an Optimus Prime from the movie, I said, "Hey, here's what you get. 1 week you get, I'll transform him once a week, and that's all you're gonna get." Because unfortunately, I'm not gonna do this. Ironhide was a nightmare, an absolute nightmare to change for my son. Oh yeah, he's right. Yeah, they're not HasLab. They were, yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, they're not HasLab, but they were more expensive than any HasLab, and you had to go through Hasbro Pulse, I believe. But yeah, let's see what they cost more than Transformers HasLabs. Yeah, but they're awesome. I mean, they're so cool. And I heard there was a Tidarian Hanger again was saying that it sounds like Hasbro is making their own right now, so it's probably gonna be a lot cheaper. But either way, I gotta say this: Hasbro, who I think doesn't, it's kind of weird because I don't think Hasbro. Everyone says that Hasbro GI Joe team copies all Valaverse, especially now with the diaphragm cut, with the as I like to refer to it, the belly dancer cut. I don't think Hasbro really cares in some ways, but it was almost like they licensed the stuff to Super 7, and when they saw Super 7 was making some money, they're like, hold on, we're going to do it too, and basically shove it up to you. Now they're doing the same thing with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where they've licensed them out, and then they're like, hey, look at our new re-imaged ones. They look way better than everything else, including anything Super 7's giving us. So kind of crazy. Matthew, again, the Jetfire is absolutely awesome. This guy gets so much cool stuff. So much. What? So Briggs, haha, I think that was the 90s. Okay. I feel like I'm the only person that constantly brings up that Sarge was a traitor with General Agnon. And what's the other guy? There was General Agnon, Sarge, who obviously would have been Colonel Mustafa, right? That was the Iron Sheik, Colonel Mustafa. Like I didn't know you were the Iron Sheik. Break his back, make him humble. You ever want like I don't know if he's still crazy anymore. Well, he's still not crazy. His Twitter used to be the most amazing thing to watch because he just used to blurt stuff out, man. You talk about a guy that rambles. That guy was awesome. Good. See, I'm glad someone else teases he was a traitor. Listen, he seems like a wonderful guy. All right. And anytime I bring up the traitor thing, if it's on something with Slaughterverse, Sergeant Slaughterverse with Zazel, I swear he tries to ignore it. But I'm like, dude, the guy is just a traitor. Like everyone tries to ignore it, but he's just like Sarge was using Toy Guru's tactics back then. All right, dude, you've won the chat. All right, Juan Toys and Bricks has won. He's won the chat. You know what? New York here. You must have missed it before, but someone pointed out that I look like Sergeant Slaughter, and what was kind of funny is that I was looking in the mirror like a day or two before, and I pushed my chin out, and I realized that I kind of look like Sergeant Slaughter. So there you go. Yes, I know. Buddy, listen, I can't have you going in and out. You got to go in or out. You go in or out. All right? Andrew's already let you in. Come here. Come here. Look. All right, here he is. Everyone say hi. Here, look over there. You're too strong. I can't just spin you around. Hey, oh, Will, dude, like I didn't even realize that I never realized that I look like him. To honestly, like a day before someone pointed it out. But I've gotten fatter in my life. As I've gotten older, I've gotten fatter. What can you say? We all get a little bit fatter. I'm not 110 pounds anymore like when I graduated high school. Yes, I was like 110 pounds when I graduated high school. Actually, there was something. Okay, so Jason. Yeah, they were not actors. That was real life. He was a heel. He turned his. Not only that, even when he acted like he was good, he tried to hold DX back. All right, he tried to hold Shawn Michaels and Triple H back. So don't give me that. All right, Sergeant Slaughter. He's done a lot of bad things in his life. Trying to hold back the Heartbreak Kid and the Game, the greatest wrestler of all time. And then he tried to beat up the former greatest wrestler of all time. I don't want to say wrestler. He is not a wrestler. Hulk Hogan. Hey, you have to live it. All right. You have to live it. Yeah, your cat just shows up. Listen, your cat does not show up to get attention. Your cat shows up to be an asshole because that's what cats are. Yeah, I remember when I was 110 pounds. Too bad I lost my baby pictures. Listen, I'm about 5'4" on a good day. I was super skinny. And let's just say I was a skateboarder. Well, I am a skateboarder. But that's all I did. So you can imagine the only reason why I even weighed that much was because I had strong legs. 18, I started working out. And when I started working out, it was like just to get cut, just to get a little bigger. And this is what I tell everyone about working out, man. Look, when you start working out, man, you get done working out and you got that pump and you're like, when I'm this big, I'll be happy. But then when you get that big and you finish working out, you're that much bigger and you're like, when I get this big, then I'll be happy. And then when you're that big, you kind of get it, right? So yeah, I slowly worked my way up, and then I hit an age and children, and then I just got fat. And then the fatness just kicked in. They're like, so what see, cats are assholes. They are. Cats are not going to come to your rescue. Dogs will. Honky Tonk Man. I wouldn't call him the GOAT, but he's very comical. Especially you see him on YouTube and stuff. The guy is pretty comical. But a lot of those 80s wrestlers that never hit the pinnacle, their revisionist history is pretty funny. Jake the Snake, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Some of these guys are pretty comical that never hit the pinnacle. They never made it to the top, or maybe they just got there. Cats are like Sergeant Slaughter. Oh man. See, this is what happened. You get me on here for 2 hours. Now things are going to start going off the rails. I did such a good job with my little notepad here. Although, yeah, so my notepad, I put topic and I put upcoming. Damned if I can remember what upcoming was supposed to be. Oh, I think the upcoming was the videos, because when I was talking about the different memberships and everything the different tiered memberships and having the videos that are going to come up, like, so I'll be doing this by the end of the week probably. I don't think I have anything else coming in. Maybe if I'm lucky, I will find the Cobra officer here. Let's go look at Pop Finder really quick here. Pop Finder. Click on Pop Finder and scroll down, and let's see. Is the Python Patrol officer anywhere in Michigan yet? Nope. So we won't be getting the Python guy anytime. Python Patrol officer anytime. Not making it to the top. I'll call it just a chat. Let me tell you. After my mom passed away, I was 13. We went down to Florida. I want to say that summer, and it was the summer that No Holds Barred came out. And as a kid, like, you only went to the movies for like big movies, so there were always people there. And we went into the movie theater, and I'll never forget my dad, like, looking around and going, "There's 12 people in the movie theater. This movie is going to be awful." And man, he was so right. But it was so awful that it was good. Dookie. That was I really wish I would have gotten that Mattel Creations exclusive, the San Diego Comic Con. I wish I would have just kind of forked it out and just got that. I got the He-Man Skeletor right there. But I really wish I would have gotten the other one. Yes, I know you don't like Python Patrol. Figure God hates Python Patrol. He made that perfectly clear. Honky Tonk Man was the longest reigning intercontinental champion, if I remember correctly. And what does intercontinental champ actually mean? Does anyone know? My buddy and I used to talk about it. It's like, what does intercontinental champ mean anyway? I'm sorry, I missed New York here. Now I'm 225 of Twisted Steel and Sex Appeal. I'm going to take off my shirt and show you all fat McDonald's workers what a real man looks like. I have a feeling, if I remember correctly, that is also from a dead wrestler, Rick Rude. Isn't that something he said, or would say something very similar? Um, you remember the Rude Awakening? And then Rowdy Piper, yet again, another dead wrestler, had the Rod Awakening when they were in their when they were in their feud. Ravishing Rick Rude. You know what's funny? I remember Ravishing Rick Rude when he was up against the Ultimate Warrior and also against Hercules Hernandez. And I always remember thinking like Rick Rude was like, he was ripped, but wasn't even close to being as big as those guys. But now when I look back at it, it's kind of like looking back at the Dynamite Kid. I look back and I'm like, oh my God, they were fucking monsters. Like, they were just as big, they almost as big as the Ultimate Warrior. Hercules, which is really, really big, not very ripped, but just very muscular. And the Dynamite Kid, when you look back at the Dynamite Kid and you see how big he was, it's just the Davy Boy was so much bigger that it made the Dynamite Kid look small. Because when you look at like Bret Hart, he was just like, you know, fat and out of shape, simply ravishing. He was so awesome. And then he showed up. Well, I can't say the only person. I can't say the only person because Vince McMahon ended up being on both Raw and Nitro, but not a simulcast. The only wrestler not simulcast to show up on Raw and Nitro on the same night. Long live roids. Listen, I don't want to watch a bodybuilding contest if guys aren't on steroids. I don't want to watch professional wrestling if guys aren't on steroids. I don't want to watch baseball if guys aren't on steroids. You know what? More power to you. You know, you still got to work. You know, you still got to work it out, man, right? I don't do it. I'm straight edge. I've never touched any of that shit. But I say, hey, more power. Go see your doctor. Let him prescribe your steroids and go pump it all up. More dead wrestlers. How about the Road Warriors? They were the shit. Still call it Road Warrior. But so as I mentioned earlier, I was always a WWF fan. So to me, and I know this is not true, so don't jump on me. When I saw the Road Warriors show up, they were hard for me to even say. They were Demolition wannabes. Little did I realize that Demolition were the ones that copied off the Road Warriors. Now as you get older and you start to see like other things, you go, okay. So I know a lot of people will say that they are the greatest tag team of all time. I still think that it goes the British Bulldogs, then the Hart Foundation. And I don't even like Bret Hart. I think Bret is the most overrated there is, the most overrated there was, and the most overrated there ever will be. It is, dude, man. That is my drug, man. Aldi Cola right here. Right here, man. I wanted to get away from drinking Mountain Dew so much. So I started drinking like Pepsi and stuff. Because I didn't just crave it. And then I started craving it. You know what? This Articulated Chad just had this movie on their list. I remember this movie being pretty decent. And I'm not a Piper fan, even though he was an Iron Grenadier, right? Listen, I said this before he started calling himself the Showstopper and everything else. Mr. WrestleMania, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, is the greatest wrestling performer of all time. And I'm just going to state my case right now because this is my live stream. When you look at Shawn Michaels, he wasn't the biggest guy compared to other wrestlers, but he's still a pretty damn big guy. He could wrestle. He took bumps. He could do specialty matches. He could do Iron Man matches. He could talk. He could be a heel. He could be a face. He could be the anti-establishment. By far, the greatest wrestling entertainer of all time. Not the greatest wrestler, not the greatest talker, not the greatest bump taker, but altogether the best wrestler of all time. And I would die on that hill. Hulk Hogan had two things. He could yell into the camera, which he still tried to do as he got older. He didn't evolve. And he could just beat up big men. The Rock, the guy could talk. His wrestling ability, not as great as he thinks it is. And tell me this, is The Rock the only professional wrestler that's ever gotten out of wrestling and actually gotten larger muscular-wise than when he was wrestling? Because he was not that big when he was wrestling. So I gotta say, I love The Rock. I love The Rock when he first started. I was a big fan of Rocky Maivia. Then he became The Rock when he was part of the Nation of Domination. And when they threw Farouk out, that makes me laugh. And then Farouk and the APA. You guys remember the APA? Come on, who was watching wrestling back in the 90s when they'd always have the door open, they'd be gambling, and people would like walk around it, and they'd make the guys walk back and knock on the door, even though it was just a door in a frame. Yeah, I pretty much got out of watching wrestling. It just slowly went away. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I don't like Brett. Now Brett could wrestle. Can't deny that. But that guy, disagree. Cena's actually gotten smaller. Not much. He's still huge. He was big, but he's gotten leaner. Okay, back to Brett, though. That guy lives... I mean, that guy truly does believe that he is the smartest... I'm not smart. The greatest wrestler of all time. He really doesn't think that he was bad on the mic. He was awful. And here's the thing. Yes. Brett is bitter since his career ended. But he was bitter when his career was going on. Because here's the thing with Brett. And he hates this. When he was on top, ratings were crap. When he left the WWF to go to WCW, guess what? That's when the tide turned. That's when everything turned. Now, don't get me wrong. Steve Austin came up. The Rock came up. The Undertaker was still going strong. Shawn Michaels had taken his place. They built on it. But Shawn Michaels went over there and, well, WCW was going to tank anyway because all they did was take WWF wrestlers and make it seem like there was an invasion. And then once like every single person was part of the NWO, it was like, yeah, why is Norton part of the NWO? That's when you started to see all the cracks. This guy here, Goldberg, has such huge shoulders you can't see his neck. Well, same with Kurt Angle. Same with Steve Austin. Both guys had broken necks. Built their necks huge. Goldberg was such a carbon copy of Austin when he came out, but guess what? Guess what? They realized pretty quickly the guy can't wrestle. That's a problem. And the guy can't talk. So in other words, he was Sean Stasiak. But somehow they made him where he looked like Austin, black trunks. And you notice in the WWF when he was over there, he's never gotten the better of Austin. Never got. I wouldn't say he had chicken legs. I'm just not a fan of him. DX and the Outlaws were over with the crowd when NWO and 50 damn. That's exactly it. It's so funny because, yeah, Planet Stasiak. See, I pulled one out there. I thought Sean Stasiak was awesome. Chris Masters too. Remember Chris Masters? Looked wonderful. Got busted for steroids, and he came back like 50 pounds lighter. He still looked awesome, but he looked like he was small. DX and the Outlaws, the stuff that they like when Shawn Michaels had to leave because of his back injury, and you probably I think you're on YouTube as much as I am probably. The Master Lock. Jeremy, I obviously have another connection besides just GI Joe, because even though I don't watch wrestling now, man, I used to watch all of it. But when you hear, like, even before Shawn Michaels left, he was all about getting Billy Gunn, from the Smoking Guns. Pow, pow, pow. I like the Smoking Guns. I like Bart Gunn. Poor guy. Okay. We're gonna put a toothpick in it. I'm gonna talk about Razor Raymond. But no, like they said, like Shawn Michaels and Triple H were both pushing for the New Age Outlaws, who I don't believe were the New Age Outlaws yet. But they really didn't become part of DX. Well, they didn't become part of DX until after Shawn was gone. I think actually they showed up. I think that Monday was when they finally became, because that Monday after Shawn lost to Steve Austin, because he had to leave for his back, I think he introduced Sean Waltman, who wanted to get away from WCW, and brought him in as X-Pac instead of Six-Pac. So stupid, but it worked. And then I think they wanted to recruit someone, and that's when they made them go after Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack. And they remember the New Age Outlaws pushed them off the stage while they were in the garbage can. But what they started doing was absolutely awesome. When they invaded WCW, when they said, "Hey, you know what? They're like 50 miles. Let's go there before the show starts." That was awesome. All right, so as I said, let's put a toothpick in it. Razor Raymond. Honestly, I only call him Razor Raymond because an old friend of mine, so he couldn't remember his name. He was like, Razor Raymond. I'm like, Razor Ramon? Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, was seriously underrated. And I say that because he was huge. He could wrestle. The fact that he is just a rip-off of what is he? Jeremy, you got to know what he is. It's from the movie. It's going to drive me nuts. Say hello to my little friend. Now you guys will know what it is. But anyway, Backwoods, I got to work in the morning too. All right, nice seeing you. We'll be wrapping up really, really quick. Now that I've gone, I can't keep going longer and longer every time. But anyway, oh shit, you know what? Scarface, Tony Montana, yes. Holy shit, look at this. This thing didn't, oh, you know what? This thing didn't scroll down. That's why I was like, man, no one is like posting anything. Yeah, so they brought up Scarface to, I guess he was like imitating Scarface, or maybe it was one of the Road Warriors. And Vince McMahon, who doesn't watch TV or movies or anything, was like, oh, I'll do that. So that was just a copy off of Tony Montana from Scarface. And to think that they took that, and then years later you had WCW that was trying to like imitate Mortal Kombat with Glacier and those guys. But I love Scott Hall. I love the Razor's Edge. There's so many good wrestlers that never won the championship. To me, it'll always be Davey Boy. He was like my favorite. He was just so damn big. Never got to win the championship. Scott Hall. I think probably the biggest travesty is that Mr. Perfect never got to win the WWF champion. I always thought him as being small, and then when you see him, you're just like, wow. Nobody better. Yeah, dude. That documentary is so sad, but at the same time, when he sits there and talks how when they found out he was gay, I'm part of a wrestling group that there's this guy he hates Vince McMahon. And he constantly talks about how he's a racist and he's a homophobe. And every time I read it, I'm like, dude, his right hand man for 40 years was gay. This guy pushed the Raw. I mean, it's like, this is crazy. Dude, 41 likes. Thank you, guys. Matthew said it best. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, man. That's all I keep saying. Thank you. Raven, Patterson. That's Pat Patterson. And it wasn't like it was a secret. A matter of fact, like when you hear, again, if you haven't listened to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, you need to, because clearly you like the old stuff. He talks all about that, and how, I forget who it was. One of the big wrestlers in the territory pretty much said, if anyone has a problem with them, you come see me. I always liked Raven. I always liked Raven. He was fun. Raven was fun, but Raven's flock, he did some pretty some crazy stuff. The Four Horsemen fear RoboCop. Listen, I have a soft spot for RoboCop as he is from Detroit, although it wasn't filmed in Detroit. But WCW was such a disaster, such a clusterfuck, that it was just crazy. Yeah, most of Conrad stuff is really good. So people that don't know, Conrad, this guy does more podcasts than anyone known to mankind, and does like long form podcasts with Bruce Pritchard. Okay, so some of you may not know who Bruce Pritchard is. He's Brother Love. You know Brother Love. I love you. Awesome. Yep, it was filmed in Dallas and Canada. Now, Canada is actually south of Detroit in some parts. Sting and RoboCop. I've never liked Sting, and Sting was better as Bart Simpson. But yeah. But Conrad, this guy, his podcast, and he's this mortgage broker. Guy's got like a $3 million house. He's totally loaded, and he married Ric Flair's daughter, and he's this big fat guy. No offense to fat guys out there. But he does like all these podcasts with like big time, either former wrestlers or guys that were in the industry, like Eric Bischoff, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Who didn't like Double J? So Double J could wrestle, he could talk, he had a good look, and he could smash. He could smash a guitar over someone's head like no other. Anyway, it looks like we're starting to dwindle. It's getting kind of late. I appreciate every single one of you guys being here. Having 41 likes, that's awesome. Seriously, I appreciate it. This is fun, just sitting there hanging. Again, if you stay here long enough, things are going to go off the rails. And you're going to get to hear the rambling. Again, here's my little checklist. I actually stayed on track. Pretty good. Again, thank you for the super chats. Again, anyone that's interested, channel members, again, once it gets what the hell is it called? Dude. Okay. See, this is why I never leave. This is why we're going on 240. You brought up Corporal Kirshner. I like GI Joe. I loved Corporal Kirshner. I hated Sergeant Slaughter, but I loved Corporal Kirshner. You don't get much lower in rank than a corporal. Private, right? I loved Corporal Kirshner, and he was such a jobber. He was like, he only beat the jobbers just below him. So anyway, let's wrap it up. I gotta wake up at like 6 in the morning to get my son to school and everything. I know a lot of you guys do. I see a lot of people dropped off. Anyway, so watch for the video. I'll probably do it tomorrow, the day after. We'll do a giveaway. I think it's gonna be kind of cool. I like the idea. We'll see how many people that we can get there, and see how many people actually show up. And like I said, we're gonna spin that wheel. And if you're not in, we're gonna pull out your name and we're gonna spin another one. The channel memberships again. Watch for it. There's gonna be three different options. As soon as we get 8 channel members, your profiles will rotate on the main page, and you'll be able to read all the tiers. And I'll probably do a video if you're interested. It's kind of like a Patreon. But anyway, let's do this. Let's get out of here. Thank you guys all for showing up. Next Monday, we'll be back. Same time. Seems like you guys are starting to enjoy it. Everyone have a wonderful night, and I'm out of here.